How are you guys doing today? My name is Anima and welcome to the first ever episode of Pokemon Team Spirit, a special brand spanking new segment where I am going to be building a team with a theme as suggested by you guys and trying to start a streak and maintain it, a winning streak, for as long as possible with that team. As soon as that team loses, it's back to the drawing board to make a new team with a new theme. So for the purpose of the first ever episode, I'm going to be picking the theme just for the ease of it, really just so you guys know what's going on. And the theme I have chosen for today is Zelda. In addition, let me know who you think is going to turn out to be the team captain, who you think deserves to be the team captain, i.e. the Pokemon putting in the most work in this match. So yes, drop your vote and your team suggestions as well in the comments section down below. Your theme suggestions, rather, I should say. This can be anything down from something like Zelda to inanimate objects. I will make it work somehow. So, without further ado, let's get started. This is today's theme, the Zelda team. So we have Zelda the Melodic, Link the Mega Gallade, the Helmarock King, that's the bird from the Wind Waker, just in case you didn't know that, Epona the Rapidash, Ganondorf the Infernape, and the Great Deku Tree the Trevenant. It's going to be pretty interesting if Ganondorf turns out to be the team captain of this team. Going to be kind of weird. I mean, just gonna put that out there. It's going to be kind of strange. If you're interested, by the way, this team does have a team building video. That is going to be the norm, I think, with Team Spirits, that there will be a team building video detailing how this team was created as well, which will be in the comments section. Or maybe I might go all high tech and put a little fancy link in the top right corner or the top left corner. Who knows where it could be? Who knows what the budget is going to be like by the time this pilot airs? Anyway, we're up against Tony Daddy today. Thank you so much for the challenge and for appearing on the channel today, my good man, who is bringing a team of interest, a team of deep interest to me. We've got a variety of tiers. I did specify to my opponents that I do have one OU Pokemon in this team, so please bring an OU Pokemon, or, you know, just be okay with that. Preferably not bring a whole team of OU Pokemon. That's kind of not, you know, for one OU Pokemon doesn't really equate to massive. You know, we're just going to do it in a mixed tier situation here. So he's got the Donphan, the Goodra, the Superior with the Contrary and the Shenanigans. We've got the Aerodactyl, Mega Aerodactyl, the Noon with possible Belly Drum or Choice Banded E-Speed combination. Not a combination of Belly Drum and E-Speed. It's a possible either or situation there. And the physically defensive beast that is the Weezing. So a lot of bulk present in my opponent's team in the form of Donphan, Goodra and Weezing. His sweepers are quite frail, apart from the Superior, who does have a little bit of meat on its bones. So let's hit play, and you're going to see precisely what I saw, ladies and gentlemen. Just so that you know, it's not always going to be post-coms. We will have a mixture of lives and post-coms as well. Preferably, they will usually be lives. So just bear with me for this. While I was testing out the Zelda team, I decided, you know, we might as well post-com them because they're pretty good matches. So I did actually expect the Donphan lead, so that's why I went to my Melodic, because I expected my opponent to recognize I didn't have a spinner and try and put up hazards as quickly as possible. And they kind of did that, but just with a different Pokemon. I must admit, I have not seen a Weezing with Toxic Spikes ever in my life. So I did go for the Ice Beam, expecting the switch into the Superior, expecting a switch out in general. But we're going to follow it up with the Scald. I was really hoping that it would either kill or my opponent wouldn't go for Toxic Spikes in the second instance, because that would inflict deadly poison across my team. I do get pretty lucky with the Sludge Bomb, actually, and I get poisoned, but it's just the first stage poison, so it's like the best status possible ever for a Melodic, because it will trigger my Marvel scalability, boosting my defenses by like 50%, which is crazy. We do manage to get the Scald burn on him as well, so both of our 30% are being exchanged over here, which is pretty damn interesting. And we're going to take it out with the follow-up Ice Beam. So I went for the Ice Beam just in case. My opponent was going to switch out and try and preserve James' Death Fodder, which could very well have been a thing that my opponent very well did. Now, the normal lead for this team is designated to be a Sash Infernape, but I was fearing the Donphan so much, and if my opponent led with the Donphan, it would have been completely moot anyway, because it would have been able to spin my hazards away, and I wouldn't be able to touch it that much, because I don't have the Grass Knot, which is very silly of me. Either way, this thing is going to come out. I fear it, because it has the Contrary, so this snake bastard is going to be contraring all over my face, and I don't really like that very much, not interested. So we're going to get the Leaf Storm to the face. I switch it into Deku Tree, the almighty tree who can try and take that, who can protect us all as children of the Kokiri Forest. It's gonna get the special attack raise, and I'm like, well, maybe we can take whatever, assuming it only has Leaf Storm and it doesn't have any other form of coverage whatsoever. Certainly not the likes of Hidden Power Ice or Hidden Power Grass or Ghost or whatever. That would be crazy. No, it has one of those things. Or even Hidden Power Dark, who knows, but I'm gonna assume it's something with a bit more coverage than that. So my poor Trev, the Great Dooku Tree, is gonna be felled, but we do get the safe switch into Epona, the Rapidash. And I really like Rapidash. I think I don't get to use it enough, to be honest. It's a shame it's an NU, but it kind of does belong on there, to be honest. So we're going to go for the Flare Blitz. We are Scarfed, so Booyah! We outspeed absolutely everything in the universe. We are going to take out this Superior. None of those shenanigans. My opponent did stay in. Probably reluctant to relinquish their special attack boost, and I'd be reluctant too. You know, you didn't know I was Scarfed, who knows? So out comes Lord Zanzibar, the Don fan, and I'm just going to stay in and go for the Flare Blitz because, to be honest, nobody really wants to take an EQ on my team, and I kind of thought my opponent might just not go for Earthquake, expecting me to, you know, like switch out. But either way, Earthquake was probably their strongest move. But we're going to take a player off anyway, and that's not cool, really, but it's better than dying, I suppose, kind of. I don't know, I'm not sure. Either way, I'm going to stay in here, and because there's absolutely no reason switching out this Pokemon, not when somebody else can potentially take a big hit, and I do forget about Ice Shard, and that is going to take out my opponent. Had I remembered Ice Shard, I could have potentially gone into somebody else and did something about this, but I mostly stayed with my opponent, fearing that I would switch out and he'd just put out his rocks, and then it would be like, well, what was the point in that, really? So, Lord Zanzibar is going to be chilling with her leftovers, just eating some fucking leftover apples like a proper grody bitch, and Zelda's going to come out now. And I'm like, right, we're going to kill shit. No, that's the point. So Zelda is going to go for the Ice Beam, because I did, it will hit Donphan super effectively, and it hits Goodra too, so we're going to go for this Ice Beam. We're going to see what kind of Goodra this is. It's a Salt Vest, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most common sets on Goodra, I feel. I do actually run a sap sipping physical Goodra sometimes. You'll never know, you'll never ever know. So we're going to go for the Toxic because it's the only way we can get some damage control on this monster. This slippery, slimy creature is going to get badly poisoned and go for the T-Bolt. I can eat this up because I'm Zelda, bitch, and I can take anything. Well, more or less I'm Melodic. Yeah, Melodic can take anything, her and those flaily eyebrows that she uses to lovingly caress her trainer's face. It's really disturbing. You shouldn't have those. Why is your head so pointy? Overall, you're a very bizarre Pokemon the more I look at you. You got acne as well. I don't know, though. Is it acne? I don't know what it is. Either way, we're going to go for the Recover because I can stall this thing out all day, all week, every day. My opponent is going to go for the Draco Meteor. And I had total faith that Melodic could take that because it's Melodic, and I struggle taking down Melodics every day of my life. Seriously. If you've seen any of my videos against the Melodic before, you will know the rage is real. It's realer than the realist. It's realer than Santa Claus. Depending on your view, it could be real or not real. Who knows? I mean, Santa Claus is so real. So real. So, yeah, we're gonna pretty much be fine. We do take the Draco Meteor. Melodic just kind of seeing the meteors and going, oh, well, okay. Ow, I guess. And now the Goodra is going to switch out because it's at -2. It really can't touch me. And I'm just going to go for the Recover because why not? I need my Melodic at good health to take on the Goodra. Nobody wants to switch into damage from that Goodra. Gallade kinda could, but it's like a bit pointless, so I don't want to get damage on something that doesn't need to be damaged. And I was fearing this thing, because if it has Belly Drum and gets the Belly Drum and Citrus and Extreme Speed, that's a problem, because my priority won't work on it. I have Sucker Punch, Extreme Speed out-prioritizes that, and I have Shadow Sneak. Linoon is normal type. But unfortunately for my opponent, their HP stat is not the correct stat to pop the Citrus, so they are going to die to a crit Scald from Zelda. Zelda taking lives right now, eyeing up that team captain spot and salivating, whiskers twitching. Who goodness gracious knows. You've got lots of lofty bits. I don't really know what to do about all of them. I don't know. I think if you pulled one of them, it would get really mad. Yeah, so out comes Goodra. And this thing is toxic as hell, I do not care. I just have to sit there and go for Recover and just be like a real proper Melodic user, you know? Isn't it nice? Isn't it nice when a YouTube uploader uses story Pokemon? Isn't it great? Don't you enjoy that? Being like passive aggressive at you guys. No, not really. I mean, you just have to. You should do what you do what you have to do to win. And I know nobody else can take on this Goodra. Nobody else wants to switch in on a move into this thing. It's unnecessary, and my opponent's thinking here is just to keep whittling away at me so they can get a clean switch into somebody else. This isn't pointless stalling by any stretch of the imagination. This is deliberation. This is like, it has a point, because as you can see, I can recover, but my opponent is going to knock me down towards the red, or at least near the red after my lefties. So, yeah, lefties and poison and and whatnot. So my opponent has to keep the pressure on my melodic in order for me to keep going, in order for me to die, because I have to recover at the start of every turn in order to keep my melodic alive. And my opponent is going to have to attack me to keep me in that little bracket of HP. And my opponent cannot switch out into their remaining Pokemon, which, by the way, is the Mega Aerodactyl and the Donphan. Neither of those things would not, they don't want to deal with Zelda whatsoever. They think she's way out of their league. They think that she's crazy, she's nuts, she's got her whiskers and stuff, and I don't really know what to do about those. Trust me guys, I really don't understand. And unfortunately this Goodra is not going to get taken out by... Oh wait, no, the Goodra will ultimately be taken out by the Toxic, so it doesn't really benefit me to attack it much. I did attack it a little bit earlier on, but mostly I should just recover stall this thing to absolute death. So we are going to get hit by our poison for the last time, really, in this stally-ass situation, and the Goodra is finally going to go down, but my Melodic is severely weakened, which is a guaranteed safe switch in for the Mega Aerodactyl, which can pretty much just laugh at my beautiful, sweet Melodic at this point. So my only plan to take this thing down from the point where I was at was to use my Honchkrow Sucker Punch and then use my Gallade's Shadow Sneak. That was my only plan when it came to taking out this thing. So Deathwing is going to come out and get the pointiest chin I've ever seen and is going to take out Zelda with a Thunderfang, but holy shit did she put in mad, crazy work in that game just there. So out comes the Helmrock King. We go for the Sucker Punch, as I mentioned, and we get a critical hit! Holy crap, the Helmrock King taking your little sister. Goodness gracious. Pretty damn brutal, if you ask me. So we're going to get the attack boost, and that is pretty damn amazing. That is great. And we're going to get a little bit of life or recoil, but you know, it doesn't matter. At this point, I was just like, oh my god, I'm just going to go for the Brave Bird here. As my opponent realizes their only real, I think they just want to, like, they didn't go for the Ice Shard for some reason. I don't think it would have killed from that range. I'm not really sure. But either way, the Donphan is going to get taken out with another critical hit because the Helmrock King is just pissed off as all holy hell. And that is going to be the game. So thank you so much, Tony Daddy, for the challenge. Your YouTube link will be in the description down below. Thank you for your continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, I really do hope that you've enjoyed the very first episode of Pokemon Team Spirit. That is a 1-win, 1 point for our dear Zelda team, which means it's going to roll on. We're going to try and continue the streak until we lose. So don't forget to suggest themes for me to use. Please thumbs up the themes that you like the look of, because they will stick out to me more and I will use them at some point or another, ladies and gents. Yeah, let me know what you think of the series. And I would really appreciate that very much. Your support is absolutely wonderful. We wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.